Happy Thursday and welcome to episode 9 of Makelight Live. Can't believe I've been doing this for 9 weeks in a row. It's brilliant. Today I'm going to announce some really exciting news, but before I do that, I just want to let you know that if you are watching this live on the Facebook page and you have a question or a comment about anything, then please just post it underneath. If you are watching this on repeat, either in the Facebook group or on the YouTube channel, on the Makelight blog, all the places that I share it afterwards, and you have a question or a comment, then please also feel free to put a comment underneath and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But if you do have a question today, then you have the opportunity for me to answer that. So please do put your question underneath. So I'm going to talk to you about some super exciting news that I am really happy about announcing today. And then I'm going to share my 3 favourite things of the week with you as well. So I've got some lovely things to share with you this week. And then I will answer your question or your questions. You can leave more than one if you have any. So today I am very happy to announce that I have been invited to become a member of the Just a Card campaign team. Now you might not have heard of Just a Card. I hope lots of you have heard of Just a Card. But this campaign was started by my friend Sarah Hamilton, who I interviewed on the Makelight podcast last week. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to my interview with Sarah, then do look at that. I will share a link to the podcast afterwards if you haven't seen that or listened to that yet. Sarah was featured in my book Makerspaces, and when I was interviewing Sarah for the book and I was in her home and we were talking all things makers, small business, creatives, and our passion, both of our passions for really helping and supporting other creatives, not only in London, where we both live, but also around the world, Sarah mentioned her idea, her fledgling idea at the time, for the Just a Card campaign. And I got so excited about it. And I said, Sarah, you have to make this happen. This is going to be amazing. And since then, I think possibly that was 3 years ago. I do lose track of time a little bit. 3 or 4 years ago when we had that first conversation. But Just a Card has been going for some time now, and it has been really building momentum, and it is very exciting. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the campaign now. But I am so honoured to have been invited to be part of the team. It's something that I definitely wanted to get involved with right back when Sarah first mentioned to me, but for various reasons the timing was not right, and it is right now, and so it is just wonderful to say that I am part of the Just a Card team. So Just a Card started when Sarah read an article about a gallery that had sadly closed down, and the gallery owner had said that if everyone who came to the gallery had just bought a card, then we wouldn't have had to close. And that really stuck with Sarah, because Sarah is a designer and a maker, and an artist, and she has done many trade shows and craft fairs over the years, and she really does know the value of people coming to those shows, and even if they buy just a card, that is super important. So if you are going to craft fairs, or you're going to small shops, or you're looking at small shops online and you're thinking, oh gosh, all I can buy is a card, maybe I won't, and you're feeling embarrassed, don't ever stop and feel embarrassed. Buy the card, because you are really making a difference. And obviously it doesn't just have to be a card, it could be a badge, it could be a small product, but something will really make a difference to those creative people and those small businesses that are supporting creatives and galleries, and it will really enable those people to keep going, to keep growing, and to do the thing that not only they love, but that we love. Because if we don't have creatives in this world, then the world will be a much duller place. Creativity is important for all of us, whether you are creating yourself, or whether you are appreciating the creativity of others. Now, I have been passionate about supporting and helping makers for a very long time. My book Makerspaces was all about that, and Makelight, I built up Makelight to help creative people. So I help a lot of small businesses and a lot of people who maybe have a creative hobby that they would love to turn into a business. And I am so passionate about the way that we have all this amazing technology, and we can create these businesses from our kitchen table, and it enables creatives to have all this opportunity that they didn't ever have. However, it can be super daunting. It can be incredibly competitive out there. And I am really passionate about supporting creatives to earn a living and to build their business and be able to survive. So Just a Card really lines up with everything that I believe in, everything that I am passionate about, everything that I am trying to do with Makelight, and all the things that like this Makelight Live, not only with the Makelight membership, but also all the free stuff that I put out with Makelight to help creative people. So to be on the Just a Card team is just such a perfect fit for me, because it enables me to give my time to an amazing campaign that I am super passionate about, and completely lines up with everything else that I'm doing in my world. So that feels really good to me. And I also know that I can bring the Just a Card team all my knowledge, expertise, my network to help the team that already exists to get stronger. And also, if you follow Just a Card, which I highly recommend that you do, you can follow them, and I will share all the links to where you can follow them. You can sign up for their newsletter. You will be able to also access all the great stuff that they put out there to help creatives as well. And I will be sharing lots of things via that channel soon. So I cannot wait to get really stuck in to this new part of my life and my and my work. So a massive thank you to the Just a Card team and to Sarah for inviting me to be part of it, and I'm looking forward to sharing lots more with you all about it. And I think it is something that we can all join together with, because whether you are a creative and you can feel that the Just a Card campaign can help you, or whether you are a supporter of creativity and creatives, which I am sure you are if you are listening to this, because you will be creative if you have come this way. So even if you feel like, oh, I'm not so creative, I have this other job that's nothing to do with creativity, I'm sure that you appreciate creativity in your life, and that you can support makers, designers, artists, small business owners to survive and to thrive. Not only to survive, but to thrive, and you can spread the word. So I hope that lots of people who are connected to Makelight will really embrace the Just a Card campaign and help us to grow it even more. So I know that Just a Card campaign have great support from Molly Makes and the Design Trust, which is brilliant. So I'm really happy and excited to see where Just a Card goes from here. So that is my big news, really. I'm not going to be talking about a topic today. It's just kind of my announcement of that. But I guess my topic is my passion for supporting small businesses and creatives to grow what they are doing. And I think the really important thing is, if you are watching this and thinking, oh, I'm so tiny, or I'm never going to get anywhere, or I've got all this, I've got all this creativity and I can't get it out there into the world, just remember that you can take small steps and you can do this, and you don't have to, whatever you do, don't look online and start comparing yourself to other people and getting all stuck and muddled and get in that horrible comparison trap. But just remember, you can do it, and you can make small steps every day or small steps every week towards achieving what you want to achieve and to growing what you want to grow. And by listening to things that I put out on Makelight, listening to the things that I'll be putting out on Just a Card, and being part of communities, you can really help yourself as well to grow what you are doing, because it can be super daunting if you're sitting at your kitchen table all on your own thinking, oh, this is amazing, I can do all this from my kitchen table, but I am now stuck because I don't know what to do next. So do, take advantage of the things that I put out there, Just a Card put out there, and yeah, embrace all the knowledge and the community, and you can do it. So hopefully that has inspired some of you today that might be listening, or has inspired you to support creatives as well by just buying a card. So next time that you are at craft fair, or you visit a small gallery, or you're in an independent shop, and you think, oh gosh, there's all this lovely stuff and this is all so wonderful, and you're thinking about leaving without buying anything, remember to buy one card if that's all you do, because it will make a big, big difference. And never ever feel embarrassed by just buying a card, because you really are making a difference to that artist, that maker, that designer, that creative, that small business owner. You're helping them to grow. So there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, as I always have to do, I have to just open this up on my laptop so I can read your questions and comments that you might have. And so if you do have any questions about Just a Card, or about anything, about your Instagram, about your camera, whatever you want to ask me today, we do have time for questions, and probably a bit more time than usual. So while you are typing out questions and comments, I am just going to share with you my 3 favourite things of the week. I always love to share these things because, so many lovely things come my way. They're either sent to me, or I've bought them, or I've been enjoying reading them, or it's an app that I love. Whatever it is, there's always 3 happy things in my week. So it's a really lovely way to share with you what I'm really enjoying. So don't know where to start because I'm excited about all of these 3 things. I'm going to start with this, because this is the lovely little Easter jar by My Little Makes. Now, My Little Makes, she's a Makelight member, and she is developing and selling these craft jars for children. And they are absolutely amazing. And Rudy, my youngest, who is 4, nearly 5, she'll be 5 next week, she has made an amazing video which has kind of blown me away with her talking to camera skills that she has. You can watch a tiny clip of that on the Quinskys Instagram, that's our family Instagram. But we will also be sharing the whole video about this little craft jar on our new Quinsky YouTube channel that will be going up this holiday. But what I love about this jar, is it is, we have used quite a lot of the stuff because we've been making lots of the things, but it is absolutely packed full of stuff. Rudy made a 5-minute video just about opening up this and looking at what was inside. And I think that is just amazing. It would make a wonderful gift if you have any children in your life that you need to buy presents for. And it would also just be great if you do have children and you want to keep them entertained, because it's so much goes into a little jar. Perfect, I think, perfect for taking on holiday, or just having in the house. So they'd be brilliant for parties, really, really great. And you can then you can either freestyle with the jar, which if you know anything about my children, you will know that they probably liked some freestyling. So Rudy has done some freestyling with the jar, but she's also left some stuff to finish off her making. The school holidays start at 2 o'clock today. So we're going to finish off making the things so that we can finish off the video. But you can get these great instructions that you download from the website. So if you do want instructions, they're really easy to follow, and you can do the reading, or the children can, if they can read the instructions themselves, or they can follow the pictures. I think they're really, really great. Rudy was really impressed with this. She did some freestyling, but she also looked at the pictures and was like, oh, right, this is what I have to do. And she really enjoyed that. So highly recommend My Little Makes Little Craft Jars. Super, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what becomes of that and how the business grows, because we love craft here. Now, the second thing I'm super excited about, I'm just going to find the right page to show you. I am in a new book. So I was interviewed and photographed for this book. It's a book in German, so if any of you are German or read German, then you might like this. It's called Flower Ladies, and there are 20 women inside featured, some from the UK, lots in Germany, the Netherlands. I think that's where everyone's from. I haven't had a chance to look at everything yet, but here's me. If you can see, there I am in there. I'll be sharing more of this on the Makelight blog very soon. So you'll be able to see all the insides of it. There's another spread there. This was last summer that this was photographed. I've still got my braces on, but never mind. And it's just such a joy to be in this book, and also to discover lots of other amazing women doing wonderful things. Some of them I know, some of them are friends of mine, but many I don't know. So my German is super, super, super rusty. I did go to university in Germany for some of my degree, but goodness me, my German is rusty. But I can get the idea, and I can also go and find everybody on the wonderful Instagram. So if you're into flowers and plants and you read German, or even if you don't read German and you just want to get it for the pretty pictures and inspiration inside, great inspiration for flowers and also for interiors inside. So excellent new book. So thank you to Karen and Ling. I don't know if you are watching this, but you will probably see me shouting about this later on Instagram. But yeah, thank you for including me in this lovely book. Such a joy. Now, finally, I'm going to share with you something that I made. You might have seen this pop up on Instagram on Sunday, because I did some arm, I'm going to say hand, but I didn't make this with my hand, I made it with my arm knitting. So this is all knitted. You can't get really an idea of scale on this screen, but I've knitted this throw by hand, I keep saying by hand, with my arms. I mean, my hands were involved. But I was basically knitting on my arms. So my arms were like my knitting needles, with a huge ball of it was a 2 kilo ball of wool. It was amazing. And I'm always telling people that you should do things to be creative for creativity's sake. So not necessarily something to do with your work, not something that you have to do, but something that just really helps you to relax, to enjoy something, to be creative, and it will help you in everything you do. So my friend Catherine Frawley said to me, I think it was at the beginning of the year, do you want to come to this arm knitting workshop with me in March? And I was like, okay, yes I do. I've always wanted to try that. And so off we went on Sunday. Now, before we went, I thought, okay, the workshop is an hour and a half long. We are never going to make a throw in that time. So I was imagining, we'd have a go, I'd get in a tangled mess, and I would kind of come home with a cushion or something, like a little sampler, and then be inspired to have a go. But no, we all made a throw. It was amazing. We basically turned this huge 2 kilo ball of wool into a throw by knitting with our arms. So I highly recommend it if you can try it near where you are. I will share the link to where I did the workshop in London, but it was just brilliant. It was so much fun, it was so relaxing, and I'm definitely going to have a go at making another one. It was a little bit looser than I wanted it to be. I have a terrible habit of when I knit, weave or crochet, I do it really tightly, like really tight, and I think like my weaving goes in, and so I really consciously tried to be really loose with it, and then I was a little bit too loose, but I was really pleased that I didn't get into a like just stuck with the knitting on my arms for fear of just doing it too tightly. But really recommend it. It was really fun. But even if you don't try arm knitting, why don't you try and find something creative that you can do over Easter? You could just do some colouring, just print off a colouring sheet and colour it in, but I'm sure there's many other things that you could find to do, and it's just such a great way to relax, to be in the moment, but it will really, really help you with everything else that you do, but you just kind of won't be conscious of that. But it's such a great thing to be creative for creativity's sake. So I highly recommend that. So those are my 3 favourite things. I'm just going to scroll down here and see if you have any questions. So lovely, Jeanette has said that thank you for your supportive words in the video, just what I needed to hear today, and happy Easter. So delighted the news you have shared. So that's really good. So thank you. And Gemma has said it's also daunting. I go from I can conquer the world to, oh no, I really can't. And I think that is so true, isn't it? We can get up in the morning and think, I can do this, I can do it, I'm going to do it, it's going to be awesome. Or we think that the night before, and then something will happen. So we'll just lose our confidence. So we either go online and look at something and think, oh, they're all so good and I'm so rubbish. Or, I don't know, there's like millions of things that can happen to knock our confidence. So the most important thing is to just keep believing and taking small steps at the pace that you can manage and that works for you, but is pushing you forward, however slowly. And just keep on your journey and your path and not get sidetracked by other people, and really seek community and inspiration way better than getting sidetracked by competition and fear of failure and things like that. So lots of hellos, which is nice. Hello to Ruth. So my lovely friend Ruth lives over in Tasmania, and it's the evening there, and she has joined in. So thank you for joining in, Ruth. That's so lovely to see that you're there. Clara said that she loves the Just a Card campaign, which is brilliant. And Jane is also a friend of mine in Tasmania. I feel like I've got loads of friends in Tasmania. I just have 2 friends in Tasmania, but they're both watching, which is really lovely. And Jeanette has said, yes, she always buys a card. Even if she can't find anything else to buy, she always buys a card. Support is so important. It really, really is. And that's why I'm just so excited about becoming part of the Just a Card team, because I feel like it is a campaign that can really, really make a difference, but also is a campaign that is so simple. It's so simple for us to just buy a card, but the support and the money that comes from everybody just buying a card is huge and so important. So yeah, and Sally said that Just a Card is brilliant too, fantastic news, which is great. So thank you. Beatrice has asked if she can get the book in Switzerland. I'm sure you can. I will share a link to the book. The publishers have sent me a bit of a blurb, so I'll put the publisher on as well, so you can see if you can find it in Switzerland. I'm sure you can. So I have a question. I can see I have one question. Okay. I'm just going to see, Gemma's asked a question. So thanks to lots of your advice, I've got the hang of flat lay photos, but I need to take some 3D photos of my hoops I'm selling, but I'm struggling to find a clear wall or shelf with good lighting in the house. Any tips? Okay, so this is something that happens to a lot of people, including myself. You have a space that you could do it in the house and you think, oh, I could hang it here, and then you realise the lighting is really bad and it's not going to be great. So you need to get close to the window, which is fine when you're doing a flat lay because you can just take a board to the window, create your flat lay, and it's all good. But when you want to do something, you're hanging something on a wall, you can't really move your wall. So a good idea is to either create a fake wall, so to get a backdrop that you can prop up on something, or you can ask someone to hold for you. You can lean backdrops up on chairs, and you can create yourself a fake wall. And you can do it either with a board, like with wood or MDF board, or you can stick a wall on your wall. So if you have got a surface like a wall, there will be a wall near your window somewhere. You could washi tape. So washi tape, if you don't know what washi tape is, it's like Japanese masking tape, and you can put that on your wall and it will come off just like masking tape, so it won't damage the wall. So you could put up on the wall, you could put up wrapping paper, which is really good, or wallpaper offcuts, or you could get like a photo backdrop. So for example, I use some by Capture by Lucy. She makes vinyl backdrops, and you can hang those on the wall and create a fake wall for yourself. That's what I really recommend doing. So either prop it up on a chair, or use a table against the wall if you have something that you could move, and then prop up your wooden board or your MDF board on there, or a big piece of card. It's basically about creating a fake background for yourself. So have a go at that and see how you get on. Sally has asked how long it took to make my throw. So my throw took an hour and a half, which is amazing. I mean, it's so fast. You can't knit anything. Well, I can't knit anything with knitting needles in that time. But yeah, I think it's about 70, or maybe it's about 70 centimeters, or 1 meter. I think it's like 1 meter across, by about, I'm trying to remember now, because mine is a bit loose. It's a bit bigger, but I think she said it would kind of come out as roughly, depending on how tight you knit, roughly 70 centimeters across, probably by about 1.5 meters, or maybe 2 meters. But yeah, maybe 1.5 meters, I think. Really impressed with how speedy it is. It's very rewarding. So so there are some photos of my arm knitting. I shared some on Instagram stories on Sunday, but I'm going to do a little blog post about it as well, so you can have a peek. Chrissy has got some new glass to melt this weekend, so looking forward to seeing what you make with that. Lots of people would like to try arm knitting, I can see. And Leah's saying that she's a big believer of embroidery to help focus the mind. Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. Really a good one. So Gabrielle has said, since the Just a Card campaign started, I feel incapable of leaving a gift shop or art gallery or craft shop without buying a card. And then I have an extra reason to send happy post to a friend. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like a win-win, isn't it? You go and you support the place that you're at, and then you're also sending the card out to someone and cheering them up through the post. Brilliant. What can go wrong? I love it too. So I've just got a few more questions. So Sally has asked if Capture by Lucy or anybody else sell large vinyl backdrops. I don't know of anyone that I have actually personally used, but I do know there are some, and I am sure there is someone in the Makelight membership that uses one or two people. So if you paste that question, copy and paste that question into the Makelight members group, Sally, then I'm sure someone can recommend one for you. Gemma's going to get her husband to make her something. Great idea. Colours, any recommendations for colours for a pretend wall? It depends on what you're photographing. So it's really, really important with backgrounds to think about what you're photographing and to find a background that works for you. So you could do a little test on a small version before you go and get a bigger version for a backdrop. Or if you've got a selection of backdrops, you can just do test shots with your products on different things, on different boards. Because you'll really, really see differences between different backgrounds. But usually whites work, greys, light grey, dark grey, like a dark, sort of a dark blue could work depending on your work. A wood, like vintage wood, works super, super well. But other times you might want really bright colours, just depends on your work and your style and the kind of mood of your images. So it's really good to think about your branding and think about what kind of backgrounds will work with your brand, because it'd be different for everybody. Diane has asked a good question about the membership, which I will I will copy and paste that question into the members group so I can answer it directly there, because not everybody is a member here. So I can answer that for you in a little bit. And Amma has said, this is really lovely. She usually buys a card because it's also an opportunity to share the maker on social media. Absolutely, I love doing that as well. I really love to buy something, if it's a card or just something small, and then I can share that, and that helps spread the word for that maker or creative. Absolutely, really, really good point. I love that. Now I did find, I think there was another question. Sally said she's planning on doing calligraphy. Me too. I keep having a little go. My big girl, not my little one that you see in the videos, but my big girl, and I have got calligraphy sets, and we're working through it together. So I think that's something we'll be doing over the Easter holidays, which I'm looking forward to doing as well. I did see a question about washing the yarn. Very sensible question, Leah. And I haven't checked that, but I'm going to look it up because a friend of mine wants to do some of the arm knitting as well. So we're going to order, and Imogen, my big girl, she wants to do some as well. So we're going to order some of the yarn, and I'm going to check on the website. It's what Woolly Mahusive is the yarn company that provided the yarn for the workshop. So I'm going to have a look on there and see what I can find out about washing. It's a very good question. So I'm just going to scroll down here. We've kind of come to the end, but I'm just going to see, just in case I've missed. If I have missed a question, then don't worry, because I will scroll through these later today and just double check I haven't missed anything, because I hate missing things. Sometimes I just don't see it, doesn't come up for me, and then it's a bit tricky. I think Diane had, I think Diane has posted something in about backdrops, which is brilliant. And then Leah said she's used mock wallpaper you can get as a backdrop really cheap, and it looks really realistic. Yeah, brilliant tips, and it's all really good when you share things with each other. That is brilliant. That's what I love about social media. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to celebrate with you people first about Just a Card. I will be now sharing this news in other places, so very excited. And Just a Card, I think, are sharing it at 1 o'clock, so in about half an hour their newsletter's going out with this news as well, which is really exciting. But thank you as always for joining me. I won't be here next week because I am taking next week off with my children, but I will be back the following week, which I think is the 12th of April. So 1 week off, and then I'll be back with episode 10 on the 12th of April, and I'll be giving you some more tips and inspiration to grow your creative life on that day. So if you've missed any of this, or you want to share it with a friend, it will upload onto the Makelight Facebook page in a moment. But it will also go up onto our YouTube channel, where you can also find lots of other videos that might be useful for you. And it will also go onto the Makelight blog. So thank you again. Have a wonderful Easter weekend, and enjoy the Easter holidays if you're taking some time off too. And I will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.